morning, this is Richard Gabe, and this is a Canon Quality Group Medtech interview. We're excited this morning to have as a guest on the program Jeff Sauter from Steri-Tek in Fremont, California. Steri-Tek is a sterilizer. Jeff, why don't you tell us a little bit about Steri-Tek?
Certainly, and thank you, Richard. Yes, Steri-Tek is a E-beam X-ray sterilization facility based in Fremont, as you said, Fremont, California. And we're focused on terminal sterilization of medical devices, biologics, allograft tissue, drugs, and other products.
So these are all, regulated products. So within the realm of your customers' quality systems, I suppose you get a lot of audit requests.
Certainly we do. And of course, during these times, they're certainly restricted, so no on-site audits. Exemplifies the importance of our partnership with Canon. But indeed, during usual times, we may have audits maybe 3 times a week.
Oh my goodness,
so,
yeah.
And it takes a lot of resources on Steri-Tek's behalf, and we do not mind, of course. But
sure.
So we are very heavily audited by our customers and notified bodies and regulatory organizations.
Yeah, and I would guess that's probably the same for any mid to large size supplier of the medtech industry, right?
Oh, certainly. Yeah, I mean, it's a requirement. We are a critical supplier to the medical device industry. So throughout the supply chain from our customers, through all their critical suppliers, everything is very heavily regulated. Thus, it's required to have on-site audits of companies such as ours within the supply chain.
Right. So I think, Jeff, your example was one that caused our CEO, Nicole Cannon, a few years back to say, we've got a bunch of clients who are using the same supplier, whether it's for a widget or for a sterilizer. And it was her idea to combine multiple customers' audits into one, which we're calling a shared supplier audit. What initially attracted Steri-Tek to that concept of the shared supplier audit?
Well, I think basically it was an idea of Nicole's, and she was actually with our predecessor company. Nicole is a colleague of our CEO, Larry Nichols, and I believe it was an idea of Nicole's, but she brought it up to Larry Nichols with our predecessor company, and we thought this is a great idea because it would save so much time and resources on behalf of our customers, even though, as I mentioned, we don't mind hosting audits. But with the inception of Steri-Tek, actually with our predecessor company, I believe that we instituted this shared quality audit. But it was early on with Steri-Tek, from our inception in April of 2016, we've always had a close relationship with the Canon Quality Group. We instituted this, I believe, in our first year, and it was very well received by a number of our customers. Yeah. So this program's been ongoing. And as I mentioned early on, particularly in these times, that exemplifies just how important valuable this shared supplier audit concept is.
Yeah, well, let's walk through that just a little bit, because I can imagine that the concept of a shared supplier audit is a little bit foreign, maybe to to some suppliers. All right, they're going year after year with a big department that's there to support audits, customer audits, and it takes time to set up, it takes time to conduct the audit, it takes time to review it, and all of that sort of stuff. In a shared supplier audit, Canon deals with the 15 or 20 clients and sets it up and is the single interface to the supplier, in this case, Steri-Tek. Was that accurate?
That it certainly is. Basically, with the concept as a hub, but there is the prior and after the consulting with each and every one of our customers, and to understand what they're looking for with the audit, with Canon Qualities, with their familiarity with ISO 13485, ISO 11137, right. And even as it extends to the other suppliers in the supply chain, for example, with micro labs, who we work very closely with in the validation and the bioburden monitoring of customers' products, etc. But they have a deep knowledge of the supply chain, but specifically with Steri-Tek, with the hub concept, Indeed, the Canon Quality Group, they consult with our customers beforehand, understanding what they're looking for, and they have an understanding of a deep understanding of Steri-Tek and our quality system, which is very good, by the way. And and then with the reports, Canon Quality Group customizes reports for the individual customers based on what they're looking for. So it's an incredible concept. And for the resources, the travel that our customers have to expend, being the fact that we work with customers in 36 out of 50 United States, not to mention other countries.
Yeah.
So if you could imagine the resources that are devoted to it, and typically with the on-site audit, we may have at least a couple and sometimes several people auditing us. So you could imagine the resources.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's an incredible concept. So we are very pleased with our relationship with Canon Quality.
Well, that's great. And it sounds like that the common threads for suppliers, so if a supplier of anything for the medtech industry is considering adopting this program, the advantages for the supplier seems to be that it saves them a lot of time, a lot of audit support burden, but also that it's a value add that they offer to their customers. Do you see it that way?
Oh, certainly. Yeah. I mean, just the synergies of being able to have everything, a one-stop shop, so to speak, insofar as a reliable consultation quality group.
Yeah, and then if you turn it around to the clients or to the customers, a supplier needs to be able to hand that over and knowing that it's in good hands, obviously. But for the customer, the supplier can in good conscience say, look, this is going to save you a lot of time. This is going to save you a lot of money. If you want to come and audit individually, sure, no problem.
Right.
But if this works for you because you don't have to send an auditor, you don't have to pay for plane fare, it's less expensive than a traditional solo audit, you get the same personalized treatment. So it sounds like a supplier could recommend that to their customer base quite readily.
So there's, it's a trite use of terminology, but it is a win-win type of situation.
Yeah, and it sounds like with certified auditors doing the job, all of the qualifications and stuff like that, and with individualized questions, perhaps from let's say 20 different customers that are joining this audit, this doesn't sound like a rubber stamp audit to me.
Oh, by no means. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. And being the fact that you basically consult with each and every one of our customers, have knowledge of what they do, what they're looking for, yeah, and how you capture all that. I mean, it's a seamless process.
Great. Well, let's talk for just a second, Jeff, about how much work it is for you. I mean, you know how much work it is to support individual audits. When you go to a shared supplier audit, obviously that's less support work, but what do you need to do as a supplier, to make it successful? Do you notify your clients or your customers, that this is coming up, or how do they find out about it?
Well, basically what we do is, indeed, working with Canon Quality, we'll identify a date on an annual basis, typically in May, that this shared supplier, for scheduling of the shared supplier audit. So then what we do is we notify our customers that this is available to them.
Just by email?
Yeah, just an email, just a notification. And then we get tremendous response because it's very attractive to customers. And we do a lot of work. We work from startups to the big medical device companies, the well-known companies, but particularly with startups, they don't have a lot of money and a lot of resources to dedicate sending people for a minimum of a couple of days, maybe 2-3 days when you include travel.
Oh yeah.
So this costs, these are, a dear price to pay to have more than a couple of auditors come in of their quality personnel. So particularly with small to mid-sized companies, When we do send out our email notification, we get tremendous results. Canon Quality has been serving many of our customers on a basically year-over-year basis.
Mm-hmm.
So that in itself, with our there's a main group of customers that year over year that use Canon Quality, and the feedback that we get is tremendous. And even knowing about Canon Quality, we have customers that inquire, can we get one of copies of Canon Quality's reports, which can be made available, but this resource has become well known throughout our email campaigns. And as I mentioned, we do get great response, and year after year, we see there's a pretty nice roster of customers that Canon Quality is serving. But it is indeed, with startups, this is, I mean, an invaluable resource.
Great. And sometimes you hear questions about confidentiality. People are saying, oh gosh, if I join a group audit, will everybody know I'm joining? Will my sensitive data be exposed? Or what would be the concern around confidentiality in a group audit?
There is certainly the confidentiality. Every customer is considered unique. Absolutely no information is shared. Customers don't have any knowledge of other companies participating in the audit. So, I mean, everything is individualized per company, as if Canon Quality was performing the audit for that specific company and communicating and reporting specifically to the unique individual requirements of that given company. So, I mean, insofar as confidentiality, I mean, there is no knowledge outside of Steri-Tek and Canon Quality who is being audited, unless the companies individually know that they're being audited. So,
yeah. So what would you recommend, Jeff, just in closing, what would you recommend to a supplier who's considering starting up a shared audit for the first time? You know, it might seem something different, something new. What would you recommend as somebody who's been there, done that, in terms of making it successful? First of all, reassuring them that it's fine, it's all okay, and then making it successful.
Well, just the fact that we have this made available to our customers within the community of not only our suppliers and our customers. Canon Quality does work with some of our partners as well, but throughout the ecosystem of what we do, the benefits, I mean, you cannot stress it's just in terms of the monetary value, but in terms of the time and the resources that have to be devoted. We've seen tremendous results. We get great feedback from our customers. They even inquire about the next shared audit, when that's going to take place. So, I mean, this program, which again, we started from the very inception of Steri-Tek, has been a fabulous success all around. There are companies that want to perform their own audits, and that's fine, and we're happy to host them. But the feedback that we get from our customers, having participated in the Canon Quality audits, shared audits, and the fact that they use them year over year, I mean, that speaks to the success of this program.
Well, that's great, and we're always happy to work with Steri-Tek as well. Very professional company. I would say the leading e-beam sterilizer, wouldn't you?
I would say so. Yes, we're growing very fast. We're gaining a reputation from coast to coast. So I would say we are the leader, and we are proud to be so.
Yeah, and we're proud to work with you. Jeff, thanks so much. Again, this is Richard Gabe, Jeff Sauter from Steri-Tek. I'm with Canon Quality Group. This is a Canon Quality Group Medtech interview. We appreciate you watching today. If you have any questions about the Shared Supplier Audit program, Google us or look us up. We are at canonqualitygroup.com, and there's many opportunities to contact us by phone or email or however you'd like. So, Jeff, thanks again so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Richard.
Look forward to talking soon. Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.